Alrighty everybody, welcome back. As you'll recall, at the end of the last video, Shaw fucked up the fuel system and we weren't able to get the diff in. So this is picking up right after that. It's actually like 10 minutes after he made that discovery. So the problem that we're having is that in the fuel tank, there's our new huge mega fuel pump, right? That has a big line that goes to a factory line. Now that factory line's pretty small. That small line goes to the end of the fuel tank where we have a adapter that goes to our big line. So it goes from big pump to big line to small adapter to big line. Now we want to cut out all the small stuff because we need as much fuel as possible, because like we're aiming for 900 horsepower, we need a lot of fuel. So what we need to do is go in there and cut out all the small stuff and redo the big stuff. Now Shaw attempted to get the small stuff big by drilling out the inside of that fuel fitting. Then of course he broke it, which isn't helpful, but it doesn't change the fact that that line inside the tank is still small. So moving forward, what we've decided to do is rip out the back seat, take out the fuel pump, stare at the lines, figure out what lines go where and which ones are too small and which ones we need to mess with, and mess with them until we can get them big. So today's gonna be messing with the fuel system. This is really impromptu. I'm not excited at all, but in order to deal with this, we have to be able to access it from underneath the car, meaning the diff has to be out of the car, and from the top, meaning we gotta go in through the interior. And once this diff's going in, I'm not taking it back out again. I'm done dealing with the diff after it goes in. So we're gonna mess with it now. Let's get into the car. Okay, so this is the bottom of the fuel tank, and this hole right here is the one that we're gonna drill out. So if you look in there, you can see it's a tiny, tiny little tube. This is the new tube we got. So you can see compared to my thumb, this is the new tube versus that old tube way down in there. It's super small. So we're gonna drill this out, pull the whole tube out this way, and then bend the new tube to the same shape-ish, and then weld that in here. Okay, so the first hole is done, and you can see that I barely nicked the actual pipe itself, which is perfect because it got all the way through this plastic plate, but isn't drilling all the way down the column of that. So I'm just gonna follow that spacing all the way around, pull that centerpiece out, and then Shaw and I already talked about it. We're gonna have to wipe down the whole inside of the fuel tank because just all the metal shards are gonna fall into the tank, which is not what you want. Ow, that's hot.
You know what I think's going on is that I think there's some sort of coating on these pipes that they put on them because they don't tarnish like normal aluminum does.
They might
gotta put some sort of coating on them.
It might be galvanized steel instead of stainless steel.
This is aluminum.
It's probably not that then.
Yeah.
Crazy how you can go from installing the diff to this shit in 1 second flat, isn't it?
Yep.
And by you, I mean you.
Yes. I can't wait to bring it to the tuning shop. They'll be like, you're using the stock fucking gas tank? They'll be like, I am.
You'll be like, sort of. An extensively modified stock gas tank.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, sorry man, but we just can't run that much fuel because it's a stock tank. And you'd be like, no.
No.
See, we've done terrible, terrible acts of crime to it. Alright, so that's almost all the drilling that needs to get done. So you can see I drilled a bunch of tiny holes all around that center hole. Now what I'm going to do is go back through with the drill and try and like get that weird connecting point between all of them gone so that we can just like pull the thing out. While I'm doing this, Shaw is messing with other stuff, screwing up welding things and intake arms and all kinds of things.
I am living the freaking dream right now.
Yeah, more or less. Nightmare, Shaw, nightmare.
We cut off this...
Sorry, I felt like you were going to say something stupid. Go ahead. Look, man, you said you wanted it done, not done right. Okay, so now you can jiggle it. It's all, wow, it's so hot. It's loose in there, so now we can pull it out. All right, so we're gonna let it cool off a little bit, mess with the air intake, because there's a couple things we gotta do with that.
As you can see.
All right, guys, well, Shaw is doing a phenomenal job with the intake over there. We had a little brain blast session, and he's working his problems out over there. We're gonna focus on the fuel tank. We gotta pop this plate off and start staring at that line, because I can't just pull it out the bottom like I thought. I gotta, like, finagle it, so we're gonna pull this off. But our 370 video has, like, 150. Oh, that scared me popping off. I was like, oh, mind of its own. Oh no, what are you connected to? And why are you sticky? That's bad. So for reference, this is the guy we gotta take out, and I can feel right now it's connected to something. And I've gotta unconnect it from that. Alrighty guys, we got it out. It's all bent out of shape now, so I don't know what the original shape looked like, but you can see up here the area that I absolutely murdered with the drill. Now that this is out, we can just forget it and get rid of it. But now we need to turn our attention to all of the very many metal shavings inside the fuel tank. The fuel tank that I can't easily reach my arm into or the shop vac into. So we're gonna hand the problem over to Shaw. He doesn't know about it yet, but I don't want to deal with it. So that seems like a him problem. Isn't that right, bud?
Well, it is, I guess. Ow.
Actually, before we clean the metal shards out, I went ahead and cleaned up this area with the Dremel. I made the hole a little bit smooth because it was kind of jagged earlier, and I went ahead and cleaned all the rust and stuff off. And fortunately, Shaw's done with the intake stuff now. Yeah. I went out and helped him for a little bit. Now the intake's done.
Yeah.
So he can come wipe the metal shards out of the gas tank.
I'm good.
See, I'm in the camp of we just leave them in there and let it burn off in the motor.
I mean, the fuel filter might catch it, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. There's only one way to find out.
Cut to the Shaw cleaning out the metal shards montage.
Oh no.
You ready? Good. Good. Good idea. Good idea, Heinz. Get the other side. There we go. Go, 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 go. Woo! You gotta keep spreading it, keep spreading it. There we go. That's my boy. Oh shit! Dude, it's so good! Again!